So ICE is allowed to apprehend people who are removable under immigration law. For example, those who entered without inspection, those who overstayed visas, or have certain criminal convictions. They can also remove individuals suspected of specific federal crimes related to immigration, customs, and national security. Outside homes and workplaces, ICE officers can stop and briefly detain individuals, similar to any other federal officers, if they have reasonable suspicion based on specific facts that an immigration violation or federal offense may be occurring, and can arrest without a warrant if probable cause develops, not randomly. It's very important to understand this. They cannot simply stop cars or people at random or based solely on race, ethnicity, or language. Settlements and ICE's own policies require reasonable suspicion and documentation of specific facts that justified a vehicle stop or a warrantless arrest. So, as an example, there was a nationwide settlement that bars ICE from using pretextual traffic stops rooted in racial profiling, and it obliges agents to record concrete basis for any vehicle stop or collateral arrest on the standard ICE report form. So this is a form they all have to fill after they have apprehended or arrested somebody. When ICE officers do conduct stops or arrests without reasonable suspicion or probable cause, especially when there is racial profiling or fabricated traffic pretests that can be shown and proved, they are violating constitutional and statutory limits, even if they invoke immigration authority. So the reality is mixed. There is clear evidence that on occasion, and this is very rare, there are unlawful stops or profiling in some cases, and there have been associated class action suits. But those cases, again, like I said, they represent a small subset of their overall activities. And courts generally have not held that the agency as a whole operates outside the law. Instead, what they do is they force policy changes and indicate that specific conduct may have crossed legal lines in certain situations. So this is not a widespread issue. And if you go back to our previous podcast where we talked about ICE in general, you can see about all the evil that they have prevented from happening by some of the operations that they do, by removing very violent gangs and people who are sexual offenders, etc. So we have to put this within context and understand our rights